Yeah. Welcome to the open book, where truth don't hide, stories ride, and every chapter got that power. Turn the page, now you stepping in, where real ones talk and the fake pretend. From viral heat to deep convo, we write the truth, let the whole world know. This ain't just a channel, it's a movement. The open book, every story, every voice.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha. I hope everyone is having a fabulous Friday. It's almost time for the weekend. Make sure you hit the like button and let everyone know that we are live, okay? So, y'all, on today, we have yet again some new updates. It's almost like this is a whole series of what happened to Malcolm Jamal Warner. Okay? Because we don't know what information we're going to wake up to on any given day. It seems as though things are changing daily. And let me just say this. I noticed someone had put under my video in the comment section that content creators are reaching. Well, first, on this, no one wanted to have to reach. Okay. We would have thought that in the beginning of this, that the correct information would have been put out concerning this man. Okay. We are not the ones that are changing stories in the mainstream media every day to the point that it is confusing everyone. Okay. I mean, everyone. At this point, they make me want to get on a plane with paperwork. Paperwork Party said that he's going to Costa Rica himself. Okay, they make me want to get on the plane with Paperwork Party and head to Costa Rica myself. It seems like we could do a better investigation than what these people are doing. He was a whole celebrity. Okay, and you mean to tell me we're allowing this to happen with no one really verifying information, like getting a deep investigation? Like, really go over there and see what in the world happened to Malcolm. Like, come on, we're gonna let this happen. How long are we gonna go on with this? Every day it is a different story. Okay, like pick one and stick to it. That's all we're asking. So yes, no one's reaching, no one is coming up with no conspiracy theories. This is stuff that has been put out here. And let me also say, in the beginning, when it was told, a lot of people had a feeling in the pit of their stomachs. But I think, like myself, many people were quiet about it. We really didn't say too much about that because we didn't want to overshadow the memories, the thoughts, the prayers. We were all in shock. And so we kept quiet. It wasn't until the conflict and stories started happening is when people started talking about this. Okay. Make sure y'all hit the like, let everyone know that we are live. Also, if you would like to support the channel, you're welcome to buy me a coffee. And that link is at the top, is pinned at the top. Or you're welcome to send a super chat, super sticker, and my Cash App is scrolling at the bottom. Help your girl reach her goal today. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's see who we have here so far. Good morning, Janet. Lifestyles for Janet. Thank you for joining, sis, and for being first in the building. Hi, Sergeant King, and welcome to the Open Book family. I thank you for subscribing. You said too many lies in 72 hours. Okay, it's too many because we don't even know which one to go with. Okay. Hi, Brandy. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Hey, Pepper's Place. Thank you all so much for joining on today. So there are a few channels that are really picking up the vibe that something's going on. Okay. I'm noticing even on social media, more people are waking up. More people. Now, y'all, I don't believe in that the tarot readers, all of that. I mean, I believe in it. It's just, yeah, it's a whole story of just stuff, with that. However, I tuned into one and just to see if it confirmed what I felt already. I don't go there looking for answers, right? But y'all, even some of the tarot readers are getting some information, some downloads that something is not quite right. Okay. So today we're going to look into some new information that now we're going backwards. That allegedly Malcolm Jamal Warner's daughter was not in the water with him when he drowned. Okay. Also, one of the doctors that went to save him spoke out for the first time today. Now, I'm happy, that some of these people are speaking out and things like that. However, no one wants to be identified. And so the issue that I have with that is, look, we need to see something. Okay, if you want to get on the news, do a little press or whatever, blur your face, how do we know this is coming from actual people? Because everybody there is saying, oh, I want to remain anonymous. Why? Why? If nothing really, I mean, come on now. I have heard of people wanting to remain anonymous, when they're doing, but everybody, it's just like something weird with that. We don't know if people are really saying this. Who are these people? Give us some initials. Okay, something. Because everybody is saying, I want to remain anonymous. This witness came forward, but they want to remain anonymous. Okay. Brandy said, I read a story that the wife had left Costa Rica and he was there with his daughter getting her ready for homeschooling. This is crazy. I believe they were having marital issues. Brandy, girl. Okay. So that's something I was going to bring up as well. Good morning, Latay. Welcome, sis. Okay. Now, TMZ, and I need TMZ to get it together. If y'all want to be the ones that are reputable and everyone comes to and all of this, they miss it sometimes too. Because they also reported that the wife, now we don't know how true this is, but allegedly Malcolm and his wife took their daughter there for a few weeks as part of his homeschooling program. And the wife has started off being there. Good morning, Mrs. X. Thank you for joining. However, she left. No comments as to why she left and came back to the States. And so allegedly Malcolm was supposed to have been there with his daughter by himself. One report, though, that I was reading from Costa Rica said that Malcolm, his wife and daughter, did check in and that they had been there originally for a week prior to his death. So even the timing of it, was it a few weeks or was it 1 week? And why was his wife, if you're saying that they were on a family vacation, why was his wife back here allegedly? And he was over there, and she had to find out what happened over a phone call. Allegedly, this is what TMZ reported. So that could answer possibly a lot of questions when we were wondering, where was his wife? When you have the daughter there, and this is going to get crazier today, y'all, when we get into now the beach scene. Okay. Hi, Brandy. Good morning, Queen. It's going to get crazier. So first, I wanted to tap into a video from Introvert Rockstar. He is on it as well. And one thing that he pointed out, and I noticed the other day too, is the guy that came out, Mark Geis, and he came out and he did a press conference or a little video explaining what happened. Well, remember, at first they told us there were no lifeguards there, that they were all down at another beach because of other aquatic incidents that they had in quotations at other beaches. And so conveniently, all of the lifeguards had gone over to the other beaches. Now, there were some people there allegedly on the beach, and someone was a volunteer lifeguard that jumped into action. Okay. So with introvert rockstar, though, he pointed out that the guy, when he was telling what happened, was telling it like he was there, but he had already said he wasn't there. So even in this, as you will see, he doesn't even look reputable. Okay, so let me pull up that video.
Current swept away Malcolm Jamal Warner. The Cosby Show star drowning in secluded paradise on Sunday.
What makes that beach so treacherous?
You know, it's similar to other beaches where there are strong rip currents that are deceiving.
Mike Geist helps run a volunteer lifeguard organization here. He says while no lifeguards were on duty that day, Geist's friend, who happens to be a trained lifeguard, was there to surf and discovered Warner unresponsive in the water.
You know, the first thing that they do is they bring him to the surface and give the emergency respirations
Right there
in the water on the surfboard. And when he didn't respond to that, my friend rapidly took him into the beach and they immediately began CPR.
These are the first things we saw when we pulled up to the beach. Signs in Spanish and English warning people about potentially hazardous conditions. This sign even giving a roadmap for how to escape a rip current.
Costa Rica's Red Cross says they were able to rescue another man alive who was taken to a clinic in critical condition.
And with that, Jesse joins us now live from Costa Rica. Jesse, officials say Warner's autopsy is now complete.
Now, the guy, let me just, for those of you who may not know, the one that they just said was taken to the hospital, he was a 29-year-old guy from Nicaragua. It's hard for me to say that word. That was in critical condition, that was helping Malcolm. At first, some people thought he was the friend that went into the water with Malcolm, but he was a person that was trying to rescue him, and he allegedly got swept with the current, and he was able to make it out, and they did CPR and all that. So he was in critical condition and taken to a local hospital. He has now made, as of Wednesday, a full recovery with no complications, stable. And so he was, bam, gone. We never heard anything else from that person. Probably won't hear from that person. No pictures about that person. So he is one that tried to rescue him. Okay. I agree. This is not the time to continue being secretive. Thank you, Brandy. Like, let's just have full transparency, okay? At this point, why I'm just trying to understand, with so many stories going on, it almost makes you wonder that something completely different happened, and we're trying to use this to cover it up. But in trying to cover it up, and this is only my opinion, it's not going too well, okay? It's too many conflicting stories and too much going back and forth, in my opinion. So I'm put a bookmark on that part.
It was completed this morning, according to authorities, Tom, and they say that it confirmed that Warner's drowning death was, in fact, an accident. Tom?
Jesse Kirk.
And you already know, in this channel, we hold racist, Caucasian people accountable, because if we don't, who will? And before we start this video, if you don't like black people, black issues, black talks, get to stepping. And this article is by TMZ. It was published July 23rd, 2025. That was yesterday. Malcolm Jamal Warner's body to be flown to Los Angeles remains released to family. Sources with direct knowledge tell us the actor's remains were turned over by the judicial morgue on Wednesday morning. Following the completion of his autopsy, we're told Warner's body is scheduled to leave Costa Rica on Thursday and will arrive in Los Angeles on Friday morning. A source with direct knowledge tells us the actor had been in Costa Rica with his daughter for a homeschooling program We're told his wife had been in the country with them a few weeks prior to his death, but she was not in Costa Rica at the time of his drowning. According to our sources, Malcolm's wife learned of his passing through a phone call. That makes sense. And I'm always telling y'all, sometimes you have to sit back, shut up, and use your common sense. So at first, he went swimming by himself.
Okay, hold on for a second. Okay. So y'all, according to TMZ, okay, we're gonna see Malcolm's body should return back to the US by today. Okay, so hopefully we'll get an update that all of that went well. Okay, please get this man back over here to the US because okay, hit the red, I'll call it back. Because y'all, after looking at those pictures and hearing about the judicial morgue situation that they have, because we talked about that on yesterday, it is overcrowded. Okay, they sometimes, and not to be too graphic, have to pile bodies on top of each other. It's not really in a huge refrigerated area. They said that sometimes, due to the bodies being on top of each other, like sometimes like fluids and things can mix, bodies are decomposing and all of that. So they have that whole issue going on. I did not want him over there in those types of conditions. And so some people brought it up that I think in the chat even yesterday, hey, K Brown, good morning, that that could be one reason why the family may have paid to have an expedited autopsy, because an autopsy takes longer than 1 day, especially when you have that many bodies from different incidents, murders, all kind of stuff taking place over there. Crime rate is high, so they're getting more people being unalive, all of that, and understaffed. So we know in a situation like that, at minimum, probably be a couple of weeks, few weeks to get a real autopsy. But in this case, an autopsy was completed in 1 day, 1 to 2 days. Okay. Yeah. And hopefully everything was correct. Hopefully in that time they were supposed to be thorough. Now, legally suggested, they were only supposed to do 2 autopsies daily. This place is doing 4 because they have so many bodies. And this is information reported as of last year. They had gone up to doing 4 autopsies a day because it was so many. Good morning, Second Sim for you. She said, hey, open in chat. I'm loosely following this, but why each time I hear multiple stories? Like, what are the facts and what's really going on? Second Sim for you. We're all trying to get to that information. Every day, if you do updates, and I encourage y'all, do it for yourself. If some people feel that content creators are reaching, trying to find stuff and all of that, do your own research. I encourage people to do that. Do your own reading. Because what I do want is for you all to be aware as well. Okay, a lot of people love Malcolm Jamal Warner, and I truly feel that he deserves better than that. Like, someone really needs to get to the bottom of what really happened with this man. Like, seriously, that's all we're asking. No one wants to make up anything. We want him to have his service and to rest in peace at this point. But it's like every day it is something different, and it shouldn't be. They definitely need an independent autopsy. Why is the wife so silent? I don't understand. Right. And we know that he was private, with his life. And, with showing who his wife, his daughter was. And although, a couple of channels are showing who she is. And like I said, I'll show eventually, her picture and things like that. She's an actress. She wasn't like in a lot of movies or things of that sort. And lives in Georgia. Okay. So I was wondering too, because for him, when I was looking that up, it showed he was living in California and she was in Georgia. But then on some of his videos, he was also saying that he was in Georgia. So that's bringing into question, was there a long distance relationship, type of scenario. Now, ChatGPT, I don't know how true. y'all know we like ChatGPT, okay? And so I asked ChatGPT last night, were they married? Y'all, oh my gosh, why ChatGPT said there was no public record. Now, I don't know if you can put marriage information under a seal. I don't know. So that's why I can't be for sure. But ChatGPT said there was no public record of them being like married. Sometimes it could be common law marriage, or so I don't know about that. I don't know for sure now, unless sis has, the marriage license and all of that. And maybe they, because he was so private, possibly got it covered up where nobody could find out. I don't know the deal with that, which was odd to me. I don't know. I'm not going to speak too much on that part. Second Symphony said, not trying to be funny, but talk. Remember Twitch? What's the wife saying? This is weird. Oh, yeah. Second Symphony. And I had the same feeling in the pit of my stomach during that time as well. And that wife eventually came out with the book. Okay, she wrote a book and she was trying to ruin that man's reputation, talking about telling some personal things. And we don't know if it's true that she said she found in a journal about him being essayed or something when he was younger, talking about he had all these different drugs in the closet in a box. But when they did the toxicology report, one reason that doesn't make sense is when they did the toxicology, there were no drugs or alcohol in his system. So it's almost like she was trying to make that stuff up. And we still, to this day, did anyone even hear gunshots? Okay, if you have someone that's just unalive themselves in a hotel, you will pretty much hear that. Okay, you would hear something. It was too much. Where was the camera footage? I know when you go everywhere nowadays, you have cameras everywhere. So who walked into that hotel? Was he with anyone? Did someone go to his room? Did they come out? None of that was done. No investigation was done. They just called it and left it at that. Just like with this, when they pulled him to the shore, I had already called it and said what it was, without looking into it to see if there were anything, any other factors within his body or anything like that, to see, was there a reason that he couldn't get out? Did he, was he poisoned? Was, anything that could have caused him to fall out and go under. And someone came into the chat, or was it under, I think, my comment section, they said that not to be too graphic, and they're saying that they're speaking from personal experience, that when a person body is underwater like that, not really floating, like they have been there probably for a little time. So then my question to that was, did people really see him walk into the ocean? Or was he already there and was discovered? How long had he been there? Did they ever find the person who was with him, supposedly recovered from the hospital and was released? Well, all the information that we got was it was a 29-year-old man that went in to try to save him, and he was from Nicaragua. That's it. Nothing else about that. And we probably won't hear anything else about that particular man. Good morning, Susan. Want to bring something up. However, we'll wait to see if someone else brings it up. Don't want to add fuel to the fire during the difficult time. Exactly, Susan. And that's why some of this stuff I do want to get into, but I'm not going to get into it because of my respect for the timing of this. We're just right now trying to get to the bottom of what happened to him. That's why I'm reserving talking about certain things. But there are definitely certain things that I have been seeing as I'm looking into this that brings some stuff into question. Okay. but I'm not really talking about that because I, y'all have to go with my inner peace on stuff I talk about and how deep I go into it, and I try to protect people's integrity. It's like, I don't know, that's my own personal choice, but I will eventually talk about it because it is some stuff that yeah. This loss of Malcolm is very bothersome, and it feels way off. Then coupled with the mismatched facts, right? It's too much going on in the world right now, industry-wise and politically, right? And so, also, let me just say this. Remember, we were saying, someone I think brought up the point. Well, we can't have conspiracy theories for every person that is unalived or every celebrity that passes away, and I agree with that. Did we have conspiracy theories with Hulk Hogan? Did we have conspiracy theories with Ozzy Osbourne? No. Those men just passed away as well. We not second guessing. Oh, Hulk, they said he had cardiac arrest and was taken to the hospital and passed away. We're not questioning that. I don't have a feeling that information is incorrect. But something about this in the changing stories is why it's making people wonder. Okay, so no one's trying to have conspiracy theories and make up stuff. We don't want that. We want the truth to be out. Brandy said, I understand keeping your family life private when you're a celebrity. However, if my husband passed unexpectedly, the privacy goes out the window. Exactly right. Malcolm was smart, articulate, and very aware. I wonder if he was onto something. Lots of times people will be on a trail and suddenly something happens to them. Okay. Good morning, Real Talk. No Chaser is in the building. Thank you for joining. Hey, Key1. Hey, sis. Thank you for joining. But those guys are the ops, so I don't have a theory about it. You know what? You sound like my husband. He was like, okay, I guess rest in peace. Like, oh, Lord.
Then he was swimming with his daughter. And lo and behold, his wife wasn't even in Costa Rica when he died. Make that make sense. And I'm always telling y'all, it's the same old patterns over and over again. Nothing but lies and confusion. Tell me I'm lying. But I need y'all to do me a favor in the comment section. I need y'all to tell me if I'm tripping or not. Malcolm died July 20th. That was Sunday. The last Sunday that just passed. Check this out. The autopsy for Malcolm Jamal Warner in Costa Rica was completed on Tuesday, July 22nd. The autopsy confirmed that his death was due to accidental asphyxiation by submersion. Make that make sense. So you telling me it took them people a day and a half to complete the autopsy? America don't even move that fast. Matter of fact, I cover multiple stories of black people. It took them 8 weeks to complete the autopsy, and they still got it wrong. So you want me to sit back and believe that Costa Rica got the autopsy right for a black American man? Hell no. And the irony, and how ironic that it was no lifeguards on the scene, and you want me to sit back and believe the Red Cross after knowing all their history, all the scams. You want me to sit back and believe anything the Red Cross says? Hell no. But the rabbit hole gets even deeper. Check this out. And before I read this, I couldn't play the interview because the interview had music in it, but I need y'all to go watch this interview of Jaleel White, aka Steve Urkel, speaking about Michelle Thomas, his co-host and his friend. Check this out. Jaleel White, aka Steve Urkel, he said Michelle had a lot of opportunities to sell her soul to the devil, to start climbing a little faster. She just wasn't that type of girl. Make that make sense. And all of a sudden, at 30 years old, she dies of stomach cancer. A healthy young woman all of a sudden dies. And I keep telling y'all, it's the same old pattern with these people. It's always a conspiracy, or if someone decides not to sell a soul or do anything for fame, they get them up out of here. And lo and behold, guess what? They was in a relationship. Michelle and Malcolm was in a relationship, and now they both dead. Make that make sense. And I keep telling y'all, you cannot trust Hollywood. You cannot trust this media. I don't care what they say. Tell me I'm lying. And then I said, wait, how does TMZ keep getting all this information? How are they always the first ones to get the information when celebrities die, even with Hulk?
And you know what? That is so true, y'all. How are they the first ones? They were the first ones that got the information with Kobe Bryant. But y'all, the part that's sad with that is even his own wife had not gotten the information. So she had to find out what happened to her child and son through social media. And that part is not right. Like, you need to make sure, I know they're trying to be the first on it, but you need to make sure that especially the immediate family has been notified. So I don't know how they have so many people in so many places that know know this little stuff and sending it and getting it to TMZ. Like, who sits there and thinks, oh, my loved one died, let me call TMZ. Let me tell them, like, who's doing that? Who is a part where they're that close to these celebrities to know I need to call TMZ and get on it? Because I know TMZ can't be everywhere all the times of the day like that. Okay? To know when this is happening, when someone passes away that fast. Ooh, Sergeant King, I know. Hey, I don't know. We haven't really seen you live in anything, though. Okay. So I doubt it. Because they not giving him work. Okay, if he did, Harvey Levine guy is slick. Yup. Something about him always triggered me, and he's always been around elite circles. When someone passes away, the first we say is that's not true unless TMZ report. Thank you, sis. Okay, we rely on them. Oh, so let's say you think it's the police. So they probably, y'all think that they got like people that are police officers, the ambulance workers, some people at hospitals that let them know about that. Hi, Miss Josephine. Good morning. Hi, Latrice. Good morning. Well, welcome all the way from North Carolina. Thank you for tapping into the open book. Michelle's passing isn't a conspiracy. That young lady was actually sick. She had a rare stomach cancer. Yes, she did. Yeah. It could be the first responders. Yeah. TMZ has a hotline paying cash money through Cash App. That, you know, you're right about that probably. Not through the Cash App. Oh, let me hurry up and get this information on TMZ so I can give me some money. You know, it has to be. Because how do they know everything first?
Hogan, Ozzy, Malcolm, all of them. Every time a celebrity died, TMZ gets the news first. And then I did my research. Check this out. TMZ often breaks news first due to its extensive network of sources and its focus on speed over traditional journalistic processes. They utilize a wide range of informants, including airport workers, hotel staff, and even celebrities' friends who provide tips and information for a fee. This allows them to get news quickly, but it also means they may not always verify information as thoroughly as other news organizations. Make sense. And you have people on social media that's taking up, everyday people that's taking up for these news outlets, talking about it's breaking news, it's new information. They give us new information every day. No, it's new lies every day. It's new lies to cover up the original lie. These people don't care about Malcolm. They care about clicks and views. They don't care about the truth. But I keep telling y'all, they all on the same team. TMZ, the news outlets, the cops, the coroners, the hospital, these movie productions, the music industry. I can go on and on. Tell me I'm lying. And sometimes I have to sit back because these people really be trying to play in our faces. They go tell us, okay, Malcolm died July 20th. That was on a Sunday. That was last Sunday. And they go tell us the autopsy was finished on a Tuesday. Make that make sense? So you telling me it takes them, you might as well say 1 day to complete an autopsy? That was the lie right there, right in our faces. Look, Malcolm was fighting for his royalties because they stole his money. They owed him money and he was fighting for that. And they knew that. They knew it, and they was playing games right in his face. That's why I'm always telling my people, we don't need Hollywood. Hollywood needs us. So rest in peace to Michelle Thomas. Rest in peace to Malcolm. Warner'S. We'll never forget y'all. I know I won't. I'm out.
So I'm having a moment right now. It's a moment of extreme gratitude. There are people showing up for me in a way that makes me a little emotional. And I don't even talk about, what the thing is, but people are showing up for me. And and not that I should be surprised, because these particular people would be people who would show up for me because that's just the kind of people they are. But it still doesn't negate the I don't know, the gratitude, the whatever emotions it brings up, being touched in my heart and my soul. It's just really cool. And it makes me think about maybe wants me to share. Be a good person, right? Be good to others. Be of service. Do good for other people. Treat other people right. Treat other people good. Because one, it actually there's part of a self-serving part of that, because it makes you feel good to do something good for other people. We should always keep that in mind. Like, you want to feel good. Like, you want to feel good about something. You feel down and in a funk about something. I know it said a couple of posts ago, I talked about being gratitude. Being a state of gratitude can pull you out of that. But you know what also works, a really active thing, is do something for someone else. You can't help but feel good.
Open a Chime checking account in 2 minutes, and we'll spot you up to $200.
Okay, so all right. Can y'all hear me? Okay, so that was yesterday. Brandy said, seconds in for you, you're on point. I've often wondered how TMZ knows everything before the full story or event happens. They have to be connected with the top insiders and getting paid well. Yes, I believe they pay well, okay, for people to keep giving them information like that. This is sad. I'm not saying may go on bad and make a scene, but I'd be very vocal. Had it been my husband trying to find the truth, especially if I was not there. Thank you. That's all we're saying. Like, I would just not let that pass, especially y'all, with the amount of crime that takes place over there that we really do not know about. A lot of people that go there for the vacations and so forth, they have the pretty beaches, the resorts and things like that, but not really understanding that there's a high crime rate. I was looking at some of their articles from Costa Rica, and a lot of the headlines are about drug cartels, trying to get this shipment. These people were unalive. Like, man, it's like horrific. So they have a lot going on with the crime. I even shared the other day the story of the Canadian couple that was over there about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And with their vacation rental, the wife walked in first and saw an intruder. He ran out. The husband, excuse me, runs after him, and he ends up unaliving the husband. And the husband, I think, was a doctor and everything. Okay. But those are the things that they're not going to tell us. They do not want red flags out there about their country, their area, not country, their area, because of it's very profitable. Okay. Tourism and vacations make them a lot of money. Okay. It makes them a lot of money on those beaches. And when people come there into the resorts, you have your excursions and all of that is very profitable. So the last thing you want is for a celebrity to have ended up getting unalived and people finding out about it and not wanting to come back. That would be the last thing that you will want to find out. Okay. So we have to now say, oh, I think it was due to this. It was, he was in the water. He must have drowned. Who was he with? Okay. So that's something we're going to get into today. Is there, let's see, my husband had surgery a couple of years back, and I was downstairs asking security to call up the unit and see what all was going on. I know that's right. Yes, we have to be our spouse's advocates. Okay, we have to be that, whether you want to be private or not. That would be now. Hopefully, hey, we don't know what she's doing behind the scenes. Hopefully, maybe they're doing something behind the scenes. But I would definitely not let this rest until you know the full details of what happened, especially if you weren't there. It can be tough in Central and South America. My family is Panamanian, and I know how it goes down. It's beautiful in those places, but you must be safe. There's a lot that takes place. Right, second sin for you. You're right. I wonder why Costa Rica, high crime, drugs, lack of medical care. Wonder had he been there before? And that was a question too. Someone brought up. I believe it was paperwork that had brought that up. Who made the decision to go to Costa Rica? Who wanted to go there? Okay, so that's a question that I guess we'll probably, I don't know, never find out. All right, so y'all, first we'll get into this part. A doctor who was on the scene that helped with the recovery efforts of Malcolm Jamal Warner is now speaking out. Now, this doctor said that they wanted to remain anonymous, okay? And so this doctor said, I was about 200 meters from the incident at Playa Grande, spending the day on vacation with my partner. The doctor, who asked for their identity not to be revealed, shared this information with us weekly. There were very few people on the beach and the sea was rough. Now, they have stated that at this particular beach, there's usually not a lot of people, for the simple fact it is one of the most dangerous beaches because of the rip currents. So a lot of people do not go to that beach. So you will probably not find too many witnesses to something that takes place there if there's not a lot of people there. Okay. Hi, Crystal. Good morning. These things always happen in threes, right? Hey, V. Hey, sis. Thank you for joining. Hey, Brittany. So when the doctor heard a group of people shouting and calling for help, the medical professional quickly sprang into action. So the doctor said, I ran to the area and entered the sea with my surfboard. So I guess the doctor is a surfer as well. Heading into the rip current toward the person being pointed at by some beachgoers. The doctor recalled, after a few minutes, I saw a shadow dove down and pulled the person out. So it appears as though there was some distress and there was some people in the water. And so when the doctor got there to the beachgoers that were in distress, that's when the doctor allegedly looked down and saw a shadow and then dove down and pulled the person out. Now, this is the part. If you're in the ocean, I don't know if you could see down that far for it to be like just land on the ocean floor. Now, there's a part of the beach where it's not as deep and there's sand there. So it couldn't have been, I don't think, too far out because you can't see down to the bottom of the ocean floor. So there's that shallow part where the water is coming up and down where you can look down. So I'm wondering, was it right there at the little shallow part? Because he's saying he saw a shadow first. My best friend is from Costa Rica. She says it's a public beach and there are not lifeguards there. She travels home all the time. Right. They said that they have to use a lot of volunteers. Now, what I'm wondering is they said bystanders pulled him out. Right. And now we have this doctor. I guess he was one of the bystanders. Right. Okay. He was one. Hi, Snooky. Good morning. My thing is, did the bystanders know who this person was beforehand? It's Crystal. I've said that as well. I don't believe they knew who he was at first until the authorities identified him. Okay, that is Sergeant King. That's what I'm wondering, because that's my question. Did someone see him go into the water? Or was it only because someone else was crying out for help is when you go in and you now see a body right there? Okay, that's the part that's throwing everything off, because you're talking about you saw a shadow in the water. I thought they said that the daughter was in the water. Oh no, Brittany, no, we're gonna get to that. No, it's changed today, sis. Okay, that part has changed today as of yesterday or last night, really, when a lot of those reports started changing. Yes, that's what I've been wondering as well. Hey, Cherry, good morning. I thought that was a very experienced 8-year-old swimmer to be in water like that. I'm telling you. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So then it's saying when the doctor was able to reach the beach, another young man was lying on the sand, struggling to breathe. He was just someone who tried to help during the emergency without any rescue equipment. Okay. It's so many people ended up being out here. Okay. Then the other individual, wait, hold on. Let me see. Oh, let me go here. So Elbert Leon, head of the tourist police for Costa Rica's Atlantic region, confirms to Us Weekly that emergency personnel attended to 2 male adult patients at the scene. One man was transported in critical condition to the local hospital, and he was released on Wednesday. So it looks like there was one that was trying to help him that must have got caught in the current and was allegedly into this critical condition. There was another one trying to help, but he was able to get out and was trying to breathe on the sand, according to this doctor. Okay. Now, the other individual that was there with the shadow, they recognized and later identified as Malcolm Jamal Warner. They were unable to resuscitate him. So I don't think immediately they knew who he was. Okay. It wasn't until he was identified as Malcolm is when they found out that he was the celebrity from the US. Okay. Immediately, first responders began providing first aid to Malcolm, but he had no vital signs. 2 tourists ran over to help. Now, wait. Now, all of a sudden, we got all these people on the beach. I thought it wasn't anybody out there. But then to me, it seems like it's a crowded beach now. We got the doctor running in to help. We got this other guy that tried to help, and he was struggling to breathe. Then you have the other guy that got caught in the rip current. He was taken to the hospital. Now you got 2 other tourists. They ran over to help. They identified themselves as doctors. Okay, you got a lot of doctors on the scene, making a total of 3 physicians at this scene. After a few minutes, the Red Cross arrived and used specialized equipment, including a defibrillator. And then tragically, Warner did not respond and was pronounced dead at the scene at the age of 54. Okay. Now, after this is when the report started that Malcolm Jamal Warner was dead at 54 due to an accidental drowning and had asphyxia. I don't know if I'm saying it right. And by submersion. Okay, being submerged underwater. He had lost oxygen. Asphyxia is when you have a lack of oxygen. Okay. Now, all of that was put out there before an official investigation had been done, and also before the official autopsy had been done as well. All of that information had been put out there. Okay. Brittany said something isn't adding up. Open book. Brittany, I agree with you. It's not. He really did at this point. I'm just saying yes. And it seems like we just want this to be like a movie, like a nightmare. And we like wake up out of this. One thing we do know is he's gone, which is the sad reality of this. This other stuff is confusion and it is a distraction. And they need to get to the bottom of what really happened. Okay, who is the man that supposedly with them and treated at the hospital and released? Who is he and what's his story? See, I'd be over there acting up had it been my husband. I can't. Right. Okay. Because if it was a celebrity, you know, someone is going to be like, oh my God, that's Jamal from the Cosby Show or something like that. And you know, in Costa Rica, do they know about the Cosby Show? I don't know. I don't know if they know about the Cosby Show or not. Okay, because no one knew him. He was a celebrity. Right, right. Now I have so many questions of why the story keeps changing. Exactly. But no one was on the beach at first. But then with this doctor's story, it seems like now out of nowhere, you have 3 doctors there. You have 2 other people that were trying to spring in to help as well. Now, this is the part that makes all of that look crazy to me, okay? Then on yesterday, y'all, last night, there are a couple of articles that started coming out about the daughter, okay? Now, People Magazine has allegedly followed up with authorities over in Costa Rica, okay? Costa Rican officials. And they started providing new details to clarify the timeline of events that led to his death. And on this article, they said on Monday, he didn't pass away on Monday. It was Sunday, but we didn't find out about it until Monday. Okay. So in a new statement obtained by People on Thursday, July 24th, Costa Rica's Judicial Investigation Agency, the OIJ, told People that Warner's daughter was not in the water with him when he drowned. Okay. The official said, now, y'all, listen to now this story. Okay. Let me get my brain together. Y'all make sure if you want to support this morning, you're welcome to send a copy, and that link is pinned at the top of the screen. You're also welcome to send a super sticker, super chat, or a cash app, and that is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. How did they know how old he was if they didn't know him? Well, maybe, I don't know if he had identification on him or, you know, once the officials knew who he was, they probably looked that information up. Hey, Amanda, welcome, sis. Good morning. Yes, I am still here. We are live. Okay. So many questions are going unanswered. Exactly. Yeah, we didn't find out till Monday, and that's odd too. Because if they found him, that was plenty of time to get that information over to the U.S. If all of this took place around 2 p.m., then yeah, reports could have been sent on Sunday. Why are we just finding out Monday? I thought TMZ knows about all of that. Okay. Second Simpray said, not trying to be funny or ignorant, but are facts being lost in translation? It's a Spanish-speaking country, and I get that, but for Christ's sake, why can't the facts be delivered? Right. And I get that too, Second Simpray, because there was an article that I read that was in Spanish, and I had to use Google Translate. Okay. However, even with that, okay, let's just say that people are missing it with the Spanish-English thing. On some of this, there should not be any error. Okay, we should not have an error on who was there. We should be on one accord with that. We should be on one accord. Why is there so many different stories about who was there? Which makes people wonder, did it happen like that? Or did y'all just happen to find this man's body and now it's due to a drowning because it was in water? Like, really think about that. We're not on one accord on certain things. Now, yeah, I get, oh, maybe, you know, the age or the weather or something like that may be off, or, you know, but we should be on one accord with the location. We should be on one accord with who was there with him, witnesses around. This is mainstream media, and they can't even get it together. Some of y'all are saying the wife was there. We should know if the wife was there. Why are we now hearing the wife was not there? Certain things should not be an error. Either the wife was there or not. Either the daughter was in the water or not. Like, come on. Some of this, it shouldn't even be a back and forth. So I'm just not understanding why they are not on one accord with this. So then, y'all, it said Mr. Warner was playing with his daughter at the seashore at one point. Now, hey, that could possibly be true. Okay, that could possibly be true. Now, the wife, they're saying we're not hearing too much about her in this scenario because allegedly she was back here in the States. He then left her out of the water, and allegedly he and a friend of his entered the sea. Now, wait a minute. You have your 8-year-old daughter that you were supposedly playing with, and then you and a friend went into the water and left her there by herself. Something doesn't sit well with me on that part. Okay? Like, you left her there by herself in this rip currents on this beach while you go into the water with a friend, and we still don't know who that friend is. Okay, so see, here we have another mystery person. Sammy's World said, I felt something was funny about the daughter being there. He seemed like a loving, responsible father and would not want to take his daughter to a known dangerous beach to swim. Exactly. See, they're trying to make this man look irresponsible, okay, unintelligent, defiant. Like, come on now. We know a different Malcolm, okay? See, y'all, I don't think they know who he really is and who he was to us. So y'all just trying to put this stuff out here, trying to make it look a certain type of way. Okay, I did too, Amanda. Twitch 2.0. Now it makes sense why he kept his wife a secret. Okay. Right, that friend is the mystery. Exactly. So this baby seen this. This is a tragedy. He don't seem like he would have left his daughter on the sand like that. Exactly. And then goes into the water with this friend. Now, it was at that moment that they were swept away by the current. And the friend managed to get out. Now, that part coincides with what the doctor just said. Because remember, the doctor said that when they went to help, there was another man on the beach that had gotten out and was struggling to breathe. Now, that part I can see coincides. Okay? Because it looks like they went in and the current got too crazy. And then this friend managed to get up out of the water. Then it says, however, Mr. Warner was unable to get out and was pulled out by several people on the beach. So that coincides also with them helping him out of the water. You know, it was the doctors, you know, and the other bystanders helped pulled him out onto the beach. And it said he received care from the Red Cross officials, but was pronounced dead at the scene. The OIJ previously had confirmed to people that Warner's cause of death was ruled as asphyxiation by submersion. Okay, and then it was formally identified by the Costa Rican National Police, and then they are going to send it to the judicial morgue, and then the funeral service company hired and authorized by Malcolm's family can make, all the plans to have his body brought back to the U.S. Now, also, Dr. Mauricio Carrello had confirmed that the 29-year-old man from Nicaragua was another man there in the water, but he was trying to help. I thought at first that was the friend that had gone into the water with Malcolm allegedly, but this guy that was at the hospital in critical condition was someone that was trying to help him. They also say that this investigation remains ongoing. Okay, now with this information here, what I am curious to know, who is the friend? And why isn't that friend talking out? So with this story here, the daughter, that's a very traumatic experience if she's sitting on a beach by herself and your dad and his friend goes into the water and one comes out. So I guess he's sitting down. Once he got himself together, he was able to get with the daughter, but your dad never comes out and never alive again. And her mother was allegedly here in the States. So where's the information? Because now they're missing pieces. The friend with the daughter, where's this daughter? What happened right there between Malcolm losing his life on a Sunday and here we are on a Friday and we haven't heard from a friend? Did he take the daughter? Did the mother get another flight to come and be with her child? Did this friend take the child back to the mother? How long did they stay there? Was this friend staying in the hotel with Malcolm? Where did the little girl sleep? Who was she with? We have questions. Like that was a traumatic experience. So in this statement, even with this, now that poses a whole other set of questions. Where did they take this baby? Did she make it safely? Like, it's still missing a lot. If he was targeted, then why? He was always so problematic and stayed out the way. That wife to him missing from me. Okay. Okay. A lot of people say because he spoke in codes on his podcast, in his spoken word, and was speaking up against hip hop, some of the music that our children listen to. See, I didn't know he did all of that. I didn't know he had a podcast, did spoken word and things like that. So I don't know. What he left his daughter to go into the water, and on top of that, his wife didn't go on the family vacation. Something's not right with this. Well, allegedly she did go. They were there for some type of homeschooling program, and she originally went, but then left for some reason. And so the way that she found out about it is by a phone call. That's how she found out what happened. Second, she's behind it. Amanda, you and Measure Man, y'all come up in this chat, clowning. Okay. When these black men wake up to the truth, I have detached my emotions when it comes to death. Lord, thank you, Cherry. This is a family vacation, and the wife stayed home. I saw briefly someone showed him in the airport, but I don't know. Is this from this trip or a previous airport site? Second sent for it. Okay. You better say that again. How do we know? Because, okay, remember that video that was coming out and he had the flower in his behind his ear. Okay. We saw so many people saying, oh, this was Malcolm's last video right before his death. People were putting that on the captions. No, it wasn't. Like, stop that. That man in that video was in Atlanta. Now, how did he do that video and he all the way in Costa Rica? Okay, we don't know if that video was him on an airport during this time. How do we know that? Like, seriously, because TMZ, y'all are slipping on some of your facts. Y'all are not being thorough enough for me. Okay, like, we really don't know. And who actually took that? Because it looked like they were trying to sneak and take it. So then who was watching the baby if he passed and she's in the United States? That's my question. Who was watching the baby? At least you'll get to move on fast in peace. Wow. All of this confusion is purposeful. You know what, Amanda? I thought about that too. Hi, Teron. Good morning. Welcome. I do feel it is on purpose at this point. Yep. Right. I didn't know he had a podcast either. Exactly. I didn't know that until he had passed away. Hello, you better say that again. She should have took the daughter back with her, right? Instead of leaving her daughter with Malcolm on the beach. And it could have been that she wasn't there. You know, maybe that was just something that they were doing that day. Now, to make this even more confusing, not trying to do that. But another statement, instead of, okay, I read that. Hey, Jessica, let me try. I'm trying to make sure I don't get too far behind in my comments before I say something. Okay, you know who else needs to wake up about their new wife? That young football player with the big smile, Heisman winner, but I can't recall his name. I think it's Travis something. Oh, I definitely, my husband will probably know. I don't even know about the football players. Okay, Malcolm was a beast with his spoken word, and he was not for this foolishness going on today that plagues Black people. Right. Good morning, Miss Floria. Welcome. So there was another article, and those of you who had joined the other day, I believe it was on, let's see, when was the 22nd? Was that Tuesday? Let's see, 24, 25. Tuesday? That was Tuesday? Okay, so Wednesday I did a live, and there was an article, because I started looking into some of the Costa Rican articles from Teletica, teletica.com. Okay, now it was in Spanish, so I had to Google translate this article, but they said that and I want y'all to see from over the course of July 22nd to today with the information that the Costa Rican officials are giving to people. Okay. Now, this particular article, it says, according to the Judicial Investigation Agency, the OIJ, despite receiving immediate assistance from bystanders, he was no longer showing vital signs at the time of his rescue. Regarding the autopsy of American Malcolm Jamal Warner, turn that down, which has already been completed, the cause of death is considered accidental and asphyxiation by submersion. Witnesses to the events who preferred to remain anonymous. See, that's always the issue. Everybody wants to be anonymous. Okay, everybody. I didn't know you could be anonymous so much from many people, you know. Had told Teletica that the actor's family had received a surfing lesson that same day from certified instructors who warned them about the dangers of the sea conditions. So then I'm wondering, this almost coincides with this information for the simple fact it was a perceived family, the daughter, Malcolm, and a friend there possibly taking these surfing lessons. Well, if the daughter was still there and Malcolm and the friend go into the water, okay? I want y'all to follow what this is saying, okay? Now, the instructor ended the lesson and warned them that they had to stay out of the water because there were strong currents that particular day. According to those present, after the lesson, the instructors left and the family decided to stay on the beach. Now it said he, Malcolm, was with a friend, and in this particular thing, it said 2 children. Now, where the second child? Okay, this article, they're talking about 2 children. Baby, we haven't heard about another child. Then they said that the women had gone shopping. What women? The friends stayed with the children, okay? And the man, Malcolm, went into the sea despite the warning not to do so. The currents there are very clear and very marked. Now, I have heard that they have the red flags there to mark where the rip currents take place, okay? And so they said the current here is extremely strong. Do not enter this area. Avoid being in the water. The sea is not suitable for being in the water today. They have those types of signs. So then a surfer who had worked as a volunteer lifeguard in the past came to the rescue because he was there with his wife and saw the situation. He looked for his board and jumped to help. The current quickly dragged him, Malcolm, pulled him under, and they had to pull him out of the water. Now, the doctor said that he was going in to help others and saw a shadow. That's when he noticed Malcolm. So pick a story, okay? Pick a story. The lifeguard managed to extract the actor from the sea and applied emergency protocol. He was given 5 breaths in the water, placed on the board. I don't know how you give a CPR in the water, okay, and brought to shore. Then on the sand, CPR was started with the help of 2 doctors who were there on the beach. Now it's 2. I thought it was 3. They tried for 45 minutes along with the Red Cross. I thought the Red Cross came later. 45 minutes. Someone said if you give someone CPR for 45 minutes, you could possibly hurt their ribs. Okay? So this Red Cross was there. So this was a story back on Wednesday. They were getting some surfing lessons. Okay. And allegedly there was a friend there that day too. But now today we find out his daughter was there on the beach. Malcolm and this friend, I don't know, male or female, go into the water. The friend managed to get out, struggling to breathe, and Malcolm could not get out. So after that, we don't know what didn't happen with the daughter and this friend. And who is the friend? Because we thought it was the person that was in critical condition. This is exhausting. Okay. Oh, he's cooked. She's gonna be cheesing all the way to the okay. You start watching TMZ. So Travis Hunter is a football player, okay, who recently got married. I need to look into that. He is gonna find out fast. She's a sly one, and he don't see it. I pray my son won't run into these kind of spirits. Right. She booked them a 2-story, 2-bedroom villa for their honeymoon. Oh, wow. Hey, my dudes, welcome. Thank you for joining. I pray his wife gets an autopsy here in the States. I hope so too, Sammy's World. Maybe that could be one thing that they're waiting on, that once they get his body back, hopefully they will do more of an autopsy, because then you had the surfboard story after that, him possibly getting hit in the head with the surfboard. Well, that would mean there should be blunt force or some type of trauma on his head, so that's why I would definitely get my own autopsy done when he is brought back, before they have the services and things like that. Now, another question in point 2 that someone brought up, since they were so private already, they may have a private funeral service and not open to the public, and just we won't hear, or see anything, possibly. Because I was wondering, will we even see, pictures of the ceremony, not ceremony, homegoing service or anything like that? Amanda, did you see that truck on the wedding day and the house he got them? She's cunning, but messy and open with it. She's not even trying to hide. It's bad when pro athletes warn you. Wow. Ooh, y'all gonna make me look into that. I need to ask my husband. Okay. And pro athletes are the number one prey. They always get hit. And if they see it and you don't, then you cook. Yes. Yes. Wasn't there a conflict in the timeline? I heard he said he was gone swimming in the morning, but this didn't get discovered or happen till like 2 p.m. No, they did say that at first. And it was also said that he had left around sunrise and was gone. His wife, after an hour, had called to try to find him, but she wasn't there. So where did that information come from? You see what I'm saying? So no, that was put out there. And I was like, sunrise, that's early. And they didn't find his body until 2 p.m.? That's weird. Shout out to Miss Floria. Thank you for the super chat and for being a sponsor for today's live. She said, we're going through my cousin. My cousin was found dead in his house. No power was on. He's been dead since June 16th. Oh my gosh. And we found him July 16th. His body had maggots in it and he had a whole girlfriend. We are confused. Oh my gosh, Miss Floria. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh my goodness. That's a whole month. And he had a girlfriend. So then y'all are probably wondering, well, where was she? I am so sorry. My heart and prayers go out to you, Miss Floria, and your family, because I know that is horrific and very traumatic to know when a loved one has been in a home for so long at that. And then it's like you want answers as well. What happened? Like similar to this situation. Wow. Jessica, I believe it. I'm a New Yorker, so please excuse me being so suspicious of everything and everyone. Who is this friend? Hey, I'm from the South and I'm still suspicious. Who is the friend? Okay, I just had friends who lined me up. After 26 years, I learned my lesson about folks. Okay. Man, that is crazy. Yes, condolences. Because I want to know what is the girlfriend saying too. Where was she? Yes, we're so sorry to hear that. Amanda said, wait, so the wife didn't go and he was on the island with a friend? Come on now. The wife, see, allegedly, according to TMZ, I'm going to let them take the fall of that information. It's not real. Okay. That they were there for a few weeks due to a homeschooling program. The wife did go, but she left and came back to the States. During the time of the drowning, she was not there. She allegedly heard of the information through a phone call. But you left your daughter. Okay. Like, hey. Oh, Lord. I'm trying not to say certain things. But that just it gives things were not on the up and up, and that it was already y'all that are just coming in. I put in Malcolm's and his wife's name to ask ChatGPT were they married. Now ChatGPT saying that there's no public record of a marriage between those two people. Now, y'all let me know if you know of this. I don't know. Or if you have any expertise in this. Is it possible to have a marital license or certificate under a seal? Because why isn't there a public record? And so I'm wondering Were they there together for the benefit of their child? But she ended up leaving after a while. And look, it's your time. You know how you have that we doing it together, co-parenting, and then I'm headed back. So he stayed over there with a friend and his child. I don't know. I'm not putting that out there. I'm just saying, allegedly, could that have been a scenario? We're hearing about a friend, and maybe people thought that was his wife. That is crazy. Me too, second sin for you. None of those witnesses have spoken up either. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where the pool came from. Never saw pool, but I've been seeing people saying that in comments. Like, I thought he drowned in a pool. I'm like, I never saw that one. Yes, right, Madus. I was thinking it was a male friend automatically. Dang. So hey, we don't know. Okay. And I ain't even trying to put mess out there. Okay. Out of respect for this man and his family. But we're just saying what could be like something that comes out of this is it possible that the friend is a female? Because I automatically thought it was a male, and that was the person that was taken to the hospital. But that was a person that was trying to help, allegedly. Now, in the other article, Teletica, okay, if they're thinking family was getting surfboard lessons, what could they have looked like a family, but the lady was not the wife, okay, that we thought it would have been? I don't know. But the wife was supposedly not there. Malcolm always going to be good and wholesome in my book. Me too. At this point, let's just ask Cat Williams. We need Cat Williams on the line, okay? Yes, that's who we need to find out. He always spoke so fondly about his wife and kid on his IG. He loved his family, is saying. Yeah, and I'm thinking that he did. Mm-hmm. Homeschooling program. Our education system is much better than Costa Rica. Listen, the media is playing in y'all's face. Okay. Madus, I haven't said it over here out of, because he was so private, but someone under my video yesterday put it under there. And it's under there. Look in the comments, and her full name is under the comments on yesterday morning's live. Yes, and okay. I am going to eventually put the picture. Now, if you're a member, you already have access to that info. Because I've been sharing some other things with the members that know. I've shared pictures, name, and also a lawsuit that they had back in 2019. Okay. Okay, so you can seal them. Okay, thank you for answering that. That could be why. Hold on, my son got this TV up loud. Okay. Hey, did you try Chat GPT with your name or your husband's name to see what the response would be? Oh, you know what? Let me type that in. I'm going to type it in. That's a good point. I want to see if it finds us. Let me see what it says. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it said we are. It said yes, based on publicly available information. Oh, baby, is married to her. said, and then a Facebook profile for him states that he's married to us. Baby, ChatGPT is no joke. So yeah, it did find us, Sammy's World. Okay, legit. Lady Love, welcome. Jerry says, so they're saying he ignored all those warning signs. I just can't believe he would have been so careless having his daughter with him. Right. Me too. I don't believe that. No, it was a man that was trying to rescue him that was in critical condition. And this person, the friend went in the water allegedly with him. The information that's coming out as of yesterday, but was managed to get out and was struggling, I guess, to breathe, get it together. But Malcolm couldn't make it back out of the current. So, yes, there was another that tried to help that went to the hospital. We thought that was his friend, but it looks like that was a guy from Nicaragua. Okay, Amanda. Did he have living parents and relatives who may have shed light on any of this? His mom and dad. He has a mom and dad. Amanda put it in the chat, y'all. Amanda, you funny. Girl, I asked ChatGPT, was me and my husband married? Because I put in there, was she married to Malcolm? And ChatGPT said no. Well, because they couldn't find a public record. So I said, was it possible that it could be sealed? You just type in ChatGPT and then it will let you ask different things. Does she seem satisfied with what's being said also, or is she questioning? Yeah, I haven't seen anything from the mom. And someone else said that they saw something from the mom, but y'all be careful with that, because what I noticed too, with some of these, especially on TikTok and on YouTube, they'll have like thumbnails that looks like the mom is doing an interview and things like that, but it's an AI. Okay, it's not really that person talking. So just be careful with a lot of that, because yeah, stuff right now can be very deceiving. You're thinking it's a real interview, but I haven't even heard from the mom yet, which is strange because I've been looking for that too. Like, what has his mom, has she made a statement yet? Has the wife made a statement yet? No, I haven't seen any of that. I'm gonna look again today. I feel like his mom has something to do with this. She had no tears. Wow. I don't think his mom would have had anything to do with that, though, y'all. His mother and, yeah, they were close, yo. I don't think that. I don't feel that in my shenanigans. Okay. You know, people say your shenanigans. I don't feel that. Yeah, how would we know that? And some of those interviews, too, are older, too, y'all. So just look at the dates and things like that, because I haven't seen an official interview, like a recent one, in regards to him passing away. I'm sure he has been very careful and private with his personal life due to the backlash he may have experienced after he broke up with Regina King. Uh-oh. And I think that they were really in love too, y'all. And then someone even said, now the wife has let Regina King and all of these exes post their messages, and the wife still hasn't posted one. Girl, when you don't say anything? Now I get you want to give the family privacy, but look, what y'all not about to do is make my husband look a certain type of way, and I remain quiet, okay? And have all of these stories. She needs to shut this down. Like, seriously, at this point, shut it all the way down, because they are putting out conflicting stories. Now they got a friend on the beach with your husband and your daughter. All of this different stuff. Like, what is really going on at this point? Yeah, his mom, if we're feeling the shock, and I believe, was he the only child? I believe he was the only child, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to put that out there and not be, I don't know for sure on that. Let's see. People go through shock and try to stay strong in the face of the public, right? Yep, she probably in shock. Yeah. Regina is such, she got two bodies. I'm just saying son. Now Sergeant King, leave Regina alone. Oh my God. Yeah, that's hard for her though. And even her son's was unexpected. You know what I'm saying? I just, oh man. And I know that's hard. And although her and Malcolm weren't together, they once were for a while, you know. And he's even admitted that he had commitment issues. Who knows why? Some men, they don't really want to get too serious, or they'll run away from it. Or he said he didn't even want to get married to this lady at first. He admitted that out of his own mouth on a couple of interviews. But then again, you know, he changed his mind and they ended up getting married. And they have a child. Now, there was a recent lawsuit with him and her on it as the plaintiffs versus a hospital and a doctor back in 2019 due to medical negligence and loss of consortium. Okay. Now, I believe that the judge ruled in favor of the hospital. I don't know what else came after that. I don't know what the details of what all that lawsuit entail. I'm not a lawyer, and I definitely don't know how to pull all of that up and look deep into that. So that was something even recent. She could have signed an NDA when they got married, so maybe that's why she hasn't said anything. That's possible. Does an NDA expire if you pass away? I'm curious to know that. Wow. So many questions. So hopefully his body returns today. Let me see if there are any updates, because that was the plan that they had in place, allegedly, according to TMZ. Let's see here. And see, more and more articles are starting to update that the daughter was not there. I think some of these news stations and magazines and articles, they are following the leader. Okay. They just coming up with their own stuff based off of what another article is saying. Like, who's going to do the real investigation and verify this information? Yep. So nothing else has been updated. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, and I'm even looking to see if his mother has spoken out, and it's still showing she has not really said anything yet. Okay, let me see. It's just one video, but it's probably clickbait. Let me see. Yeah. It's one of these videos that when you click on it, it just shows pictures and an AI voice. Like, we haven't had like close that. What are you doing? Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Okay, no siblings. Thank you, Madus. Yeah, so sometimes it's those videos with like pictures, and then they have an AI voice and things like that. That's what that video was. My heart goes out to her. I'm sure it brought back the pain of her son's death. Bill Cosby did say it brought the memory of him finding out about his own son's death. Yes, because I mean, that was his only son, even on the show. So it does probably trigger and bring back the memories of that. Well, Amanda, one thing, if she wants to be general, thank y'all for your thoughts and prayers for me and my family during this time. I love my husband. It was such unexpected. Baby, give us, if you want to, give us some details. Okay. It's a lot she can say without saying too much. Okay. Just saying, like, it's just odd, y'all. It really is. We're gonna see how this all pans out. We'll see how it all pans out. But I just know every day it should not be something new. And no one, like I said, is fishing for information. People just want the truth. That's it. Yeah, say something. She said, y'all want her to lie. Girl, no. Look, a lot of people want to know who she is. For one, and that's a good point though. If I've been kept a secret all of this time, why would I come out now? Y'all didn't even know I was married to him. Okay, so that's a point right there. If she was a secret while he was alive, why would she come forward now? Wow. We're gonna see, y'all. We would definitely see. Oh, I can only imagine. Wow. And it's definitely, if it's something that happened by, let's just say this happened this way with the rip current, but then that exposes a whole other thing as well. If there was another female friend there on this trip that they probably did not ever want to get out either. Who knows? Who knows? So I don't know for sure. I'm not saying that it's fact. All we know is friend. Okay, we don't know male or female. It just said friend based off of that statement made from the Costa Rican official. Open Book is not saying that. Okay, that statement was made to people. Okay, and it didn't say female or male, but people thought it was a family. That's all I'm saying on that part. So yeah, keep y'all ears, eyes open. Okay. I don't know, Amanda. That's what we're trying to find out. Like, you would think, okay, everyone else wants to remain anonymous, right? Everyone else wanted to remain anonymous. The doctor, the people helping, all of that. Now, this is my thing. If my good friend was just caught into rip current and passed away, it seems like I would let everybody know, or there would be some type of statement from that friend, or you should be one of the first ones on the news channel because you were there at the beach. Usually the reporters, what kind of reporters they got over there? Because usually the reporters and you can't even, if something pops off here, y'all, we have so many, for one, on the boots on the ground, people that have their own channels and stuff that's going to show up. You got every news channel there set up, ready. Okay. Why is it that there, when this happened, we don't see a lot of footage? Usually you have a yellow tape, or you got at least the background stuff, or ambulance and stuff like that. People are reporting it. Then you got people coming to the camera telling you what happened. Then we should have seen the friend pop up. Yes, I was here with Malcolm, and I was trying. We were surfboarding, and I couldn't get out. And I got out, and Malcolm couldn't get out. And me and baby girl, we're here, and da. Something. Like, we didn't see no one giving a statement. No, like, news, like, just never, I guess I'm not used to that here in the US. And maybe, I don't know, maybe they don't have a lot of reporters there. But usually you're going to have some type of footage, okay, of when an incident happens and what takes place. I just find it odd that there is no camera footage, nobody in the camera telling you I was a witness to this. We have to get everything secondhand, and everything is anonymous. No names for people to do research. Okay? They don't want to be identified for a reason. It's too many secrets, right? I would believe someone would need to assist him with the child, maybe a nanny or a family member. Most moms would not leave a child alone with the father, especially out of the country. Exactly. Because you have to go through, if you're out of the country, when you come back, you got to have the passport, a birth certificate, stuff like that. Like, did he have access to all of that to get the child back? Did you have Malcolm's paperwork? Did you know where all of that stuff was? Like, we don't even know any of that. Is the daughter back? When did she make it back? When were they connected? You would have thought TMZ would have been on it. Okay, because they're everywhere at the airports. So did they ever see the daughter come back? Did they ever see the wife go there to get her child? Y'all the one putting it out here that she wasn't there. So what happened? Where was the baby? That's all I'm saying. Okay, if you have this friend that made it and the baby was on the shore while Malcolm is in the water, come on, make it make sense. There was a lot of time in between that for this little girl. And no one has said anything about that. Come on now. Make that make sense. I would say at least that I tried to help save us. But right, that's it. You don't have to get into details or anything like that. But no one is on video talking about this that was actually there. Everything is secondhand information, or it is, I want to remain anonymous. So we may not ever really know what really happened, to be honest, y'all. So the baby was just walking around the beach alone. Thank you. That doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I mean, when you think about it, like, I'm a visual person. So when you're explaining something to me, I see it in my mind in pictures. When I'm reading these statements, there are a lot of missing pieces, a lot of things that are not adding up, and a lot of things that have not been stated yet. Everybody was so quick to get the information out that he drowned by an accident and had asphyxiation. It's hard for me to say that, by submersion. Oh, we were quick to put all that out. But no one is quick to go into details, give more information, clarification. Now we got friends with no names. You got added bystanders. But all the other details are missing now. Everybody's quiet right now. Something is up with that. That's all I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Okay. And he deserves better than that. That's all I'm saying. Like, get on one accord, pick a story and stick to it. Quit trying to create confusion and 1 minute this, playing follow the leader. No, y'all need to get it together on what really happened to this man. Because now is going to come a time when his body is back. His family, his friends want to go through the grieving process, you know, go through the funeral, all of that. There should not be this many unanswered questions. And I'm just hoping that behind the scenes, some things are being done. Maybe they're not just putting that information out publicly yet, but hopefully behind the scenes, they are trying to find out what really happened. I'm really hoping so. Because that's like very tragic. Like, I don't know. But y'all, that was all so far that I had for this morning. I wanted to give the latest updates. Also, if you have not watched the other videos from yesterday, I did some updates with that as well. Let's see. The couple that got caught at the Coldplay concert cheating, the lady Kristen that was over the HR, she has now resigned. Okay. That's the latest update with that story. So I did a short on that. So check that out. Make sure you also hit the like button. That is for free. Shout out to Miss Floria for being a sponsor for today's live. And if you would like to support the channel, you're welcome to send a super sticker, super chat, cash app, or buy a coffee. And that link is pinned at the top of the screen. But y'all know I will be on the lookout. Okay, so throughout the day, set your notifications for videos, lives, and all of that, because I just pop up. I don't have like sometimes definite times that I go live, but I do think this evening I'm going to do a live that we did not get a chance to do yesterday because I was out and about. But I did want to do our encouraging word Friday because we didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. YouTube Brittany, YouTube Sergeant King, thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you hit the like button. Also subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell because you never know when I'm going to go live. Thank you and have a blessed day. Excuse me. Bye-bye.
You just flip through truth with the open book. If you felt that heat, like share and stay locked in. Another chapter done, but we far from finished. Truth on the mic, yeah, we handle business. Real talk, no fluff, just facts and fire. From the book to the block, we taking it higher. The open book, every voice matters, every lie shatters. Catch you next page.